guests, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of Lions International and Forbes India. It's a privilege to be here this evening, and I'm deeply honored to get this very prestigious award from you. Just a few words, since I'll use this podium to make my mark for wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife, for me, the term, is a deep conspiracy. There is nothing called wildlife in tribal culture. There is nothing called wildlife in ancient Sanatan Dharma. It is life itself. We know, जीवन जो इस पृथ्वी का में पाया जाता है, that is life. So even the sparrow which comes outside your window is wildlife. जब आप किसी की ज़मीन हड़पना चाहें, तो आपको उसे घोषित करना पड़ता है कि this person is a criminal, put him in jail. So humans, especially the white man, very interestingly coined a term called wildlife so that we could put all those animals in selected national parks, small little islands, zoological gardens, and take over land and water as if all land and water was only for humans to use. So you need to understand the meaning of the real term wildlife. Wildlife is nothing but life itself, life that naturally pertains to this planet, and life that you cannot save only on paper. Without land and water, there is no meaning of wildlife. Just to bring certain perspectives into picture, today 96% of the planet's biomass is human and livestock, which means the animals that we rear to kill and eat, like poultry and cattle. So humans and livestock comprise 96% of the planet's biomass. And the remaining 4% comprises of all the free-ranging wild mammals on planet Earth, which means whales, dolphins, tigers, giraffes, lions, elephants, rhinos, and the heavyweights. The total body mass of those animals is just 4%. So we are actually on the brink of losing all species on planet Earth. And in my lifetime, we have lost, the planet has lost more than 50% of the planet's free-ranging wildlife. तो हम कगार पे हैं, हम ऐसी जगह पे है कि वाइल्ड लाइफ विलुप्ति की कगार पे है. अब इसको कैसे बचाया जाए? जो भी थोड़ी बहुत पूंजी मैंने इकट्ठा की थी by doing music in films, and thankfully I did a couple of large films in Bollywood, and whatever little resources I had, I decided to invest that in a barren agricultural hill which was adjacent to Corbett National Park, in the Corbett landscape. बंजर ज़मीन थी, उस पर पेड़ पौधे कुछ नहीं थे और कट एंड स्लैश एग्रीकल्चर हो रहा था. लेकिन अच्छी बात ये थी कि इसके सराउंडिंग एरियाज में जंगल था. The peripheral area was all pure sal forest, and there were a couple of people trying to do makeshift agriculture in this land. Now there comes man-animal conflict, that you know, when you cultivate in a land adjacent to a forest, how do you explain to the tiger that it's supposed to only eat deer and not eat cows? And how do you explain to the deer that it has to only eat grass and not eat fasal or crops? A deer will eat grass and crops both, and a tiger will eat deer as well as goats and cows. So it was a natural man-animal conflict zone, and that land was screaming to be returned back to the wild. So I did what I could, but again I would tell you that I could do only 1%. The remaining 99% was done by Mother Nature. So I made some water bodies, fish, insects, they came on their own. I mean, starting from the snake to the wasp, to the bees, to the mighty tiger, everybody used to come and drink from those water bodies. You know, the water is a magnet for wildlife. आज मैं देखता हूँ कि हाथी दूर से चल के आते हैं, हाथी के बच्चे बेहोश हो जाते हैं गर्मी के मौसम में क्योंकि पानी नहीं मिलता. नदी तक पहुंच नहीं पाते क्योंकि नदी के आसपास की ज़मीन हमने घेर ली है, उसमें वॉल्स हैं. हाथी दीवार तोड़ता है, हम बोलते हैं कि ये हाथी पागल हो गया है. तेंदुआ या बाघ जब कुएं में गिर जाता है, आमतौर पर आप देखेंगे टाइगर एंड लेपर्ड्स फॉलिंग इनटू वेल्स. इट्स अ डेली न्यूज ऑन इंडियन चैनल्स. Most channels report it as what? Oh, the leopard fell in the well, the tiger fell in the well. These animals see 7 times better than us at night, and they are no fools. They will never fall into a well. They are actually so thirsty that for a mouthful of water, they jump into the well, and then they can't get out. So such is the situation in which the thoughts of Sitavani came across, and this is of course a very esteemed award. But the first ever award that came to me was in the form of Mother Nature again, because in 2015, a completely wild tigress from Corbett National Park reposed her trust in me and decided to give birth to cubs in that area. When the cubs grew up, it was for the first time in the history of this planet that a wild tigress gave birth close to a private estate, and the cubs grew up and dispersed into the national park around my property. That's what made Sisamani Wildlife Reserve world famous. I was just a gardener. And this year also there is a leopard with 2 cubs which is using the property. And it gives me extreme inner, मुझे अंदरूनी तृप्ति मिलती है जब मेरे बनाए हुए water body से कोई प्राणी आके पानी पिए. I'm also involved with the Government of India with NTCA. I've always been a tiger tracker for the National Tiger Conservation Authority. You'll be extremely happy to know. Now, just 2 minutes of the great things that India is doing for wildlife conservation. We are the most populous country in the world. We only have 2.1% of the planet's land area and 4% of the planet's fresh water. In spite of that, we have actually managed to save almost all of our megafauna. You name it, we have it. Tigers, leopards, snow leopards, clouded leopards, lions, cheetahs now, 1,350 species of birds, wolves, wild dogs. There is almost everything that's found on planet Earth that India is bestowed upon with. So India is a natural biotic diversity hotspot for the planet, and India is now making tiger reserves, allocating areas for conservation of not just the tiger, but all the other animals that live under the umbrella of the tiger, and that gets in clean green dollars, because you would be astonished to know that the largest land animal that walks Europe is just the red fox. So in the next couple of years, the remaining planet will have no wildlife to showcase. So if we end up saving what we have, we invite a lot of clean green dollars without polluting our environment, and also हमारी जो विरासत है उसको भी हम बचा सकते हैं. And the Government of India is working very hard on that. I just recently composed the tiger anthem a while back, then the cheetah anthem for NTCA, and then the IBCA, which is the International Big Cat Alliance. Modi ji has just given a grant of 150 crores for the IBCA, and the IBCA headquarters are set in New Delhi. I happen to be fortunate enough to make the branding film and the anthem for the IBCA. The International Big Cat Alliance is a congregation of 96 countries across the world which have big cats, and out of the 7 big cats of the world, India is home to 5 of them. The tiger, the lion, the leopard, the snow leopard, the cheetah, and tiger, lion, leopard, cheetah. So 5 of the big cats, apart from the puma and the jaguar, India has. So India is the natural global hotspot of big cats in the world. And I'm sure that with our ancient philosophies of tolerance and protection of all forms of life, India will emerge as a global leader in wildlife conservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that impassioned speech. All right, we are continuing the momentum and going to the runner-up. His work in urban wildlife rescue is also a proof to the power of individual action in protecting biodiversity. The Kite versus Kite project addresses the devastating impact of glass-coated kite strings